Hello and welcome to this, my next and latest chess video. This shows a chess game I've just played today, and that is Sunday evening, the 3rd of February 2013. It's a play at 5-minute blitz game, played on the free internet chess server, and I'm black. I'm only rated about 1100. I've played a few games on the internet chess server, and my rating hasn't gone up, it's gone down actually. Mainly because I've been losing games on time, and this happens to me when I haven't played much, and I really do want to improve, but this game is an example not of good play, it's of poor play, and it's an example of my mad, bad, sad, crazy chess. And one day I hope I can look back on this and laugh, because I do hope to improve myself from here, but I just thought it's a bit of a crazy chess game this, so I just thought I'd highlight my crazy chess. So I'm around 1100, my opponent white about 1050. So here we go, he plays e4, I play e6 going into the French defence, and he plays a slightly less standard knight to f3. I just carry on with the French defence, classic d5, and here a lot of opponents will go to the French exchange and play e takes d. But my opponent doesn't do that, he plays knight to c3, so again slightly different French defence, and I just elect to capture the pawn. Possibly could have pushed on or possibly developed a piece. Anyway, now d takes e, and knight on c takes e, and here I go for a variation I've been looking at in similar sort of positions, the Fort Knox variation, where the knight squared bishop for black goes to c6. I don't know a whole lot about this opening, but I do want to try and investigate it because it looks slightly interesting and promising. White carries on now with bishop to c4, and I complete my bishop move, my light squared bishop to c6, and that's, as I say, the hallmark of the Fort Knox defence. I'm not sure that this is definitely not a classic Fort Knox defence, and white protects his knight here by playing queen to e2. I develop my knight to d7. White castles kingside. I play my other knight now to f6, and white protects his knight, doesn't move it, protects it with d3. I develop my bishop to e7, getting ready to castle. White develops his dark squared bishop to f4. White castle kingside. And white now puts his rook on the e-file, so queen and rook battery on the e-file, owning the e-file. And I play my knight on f to h5 to attack the dark squared bishop of white. So white retreats his bishop, and I now bring my other knight over from d7 to f6, and I want both my knights on the king side to attack on the king side as much as possible. White redirects his dark squared bishop to c3, and I go and attack white's queen with knight to f4. Now white brings the queen into e3, attacking the knight, and I protect the knight with bishop to d6. White attacks the knight with g3, and I just ignore that. This is and instead play knight to g4, attacking white's queen. White retreats the queen. Maybe I could have played knight to h3 here with a check, and had both my knights attacking on the f-pawn. Might have been interesting, the position to arise from there, but actually I just retreat my knight now to g6 instead, and white plays h3, attacking my other knight, which I retreat now to e5. And here white plays knight takes knight, and I recapture knight takes knight, and I'm hoping now to play knight to f3 with a check and forking the queen and rook, but white of course sees that and brings his queen to f4 to protect, and so I play knight back to g6 and double attack the queen from the knight and the bishop. So that queen goes back, and here for some reason I retreat my bishop, so I want my bishop and queen to be on a battery, but it'll be interesting, I forget about that, so I forget what I've done, and white now plays rook to e2 to try and double his rooks on the e file, and I've just make a complete blunder here by playing knight back to e5 expecting it to be protected, but I'd just forgotten I'd moved the bishop back to e7, so the knight is not protected, and my opponent just takes the knight for nothing. So I blundered a knight there, and I just have to carry on now and see if I can make the best of the game. And I play f6 attacking the bishop. White retreats the bishop, and I'm not sure what to do, and swapping off pieces isn't the best thing to do, but I just want to get my queen centralized, and so I play bishop to d5 attacking the bishop, and if bishop takes bishop I recapture with my queen. But here white for some reason doesn't play that, which he should do when he's a piece up, and he retreats his bishop. So here I just play bishop takes bishop now to give white double pawns on the b file, even though white has a semi-open a file. I'm not too worried about that at this moment, that's the least of my worries. I now play e5 to blunt the dark squared bishop of white on that diagonal. White brings his rook down to a4, trying to swing his rook across into the game somewhere, and I bring my queen up to d7, which is eyeing the loose pawn on h3. White attacks in the centre with d4, and I play queen takes h3, hoping my queen can be a nuisance value against the king that now isn't very well protected. But white continues with the attack in the centre with d takes e. Instead of recapturing, I play f5 attacking the knight, and white plays not such a good move here, because he plays knight to d6, which means I can recapture the knight with the pawn. So I go a knight up for a pawn there, but white now plays pawn takes e takes d, and that pawn now is very troublesome. I retreat my bishop, I'll put my bishop on f6, and white exchanges bishops, and I recapture with the rook attacking the pawn, and white further strengthens the pawn with rook to d4, so that pawn is going to be very troublesome. And here I bring my rook and double my rooks on the f file, because what I want to do is to lever on with f4 and hope I can get some leverage from that move. White continues with pushing the pawn to d7, nearly promoting it, and now I go for my leverage and play f4. White continues and promotes to another queen, so there's two queens and two rooks against me now, but now I play my last hope, which is f takes g, because I now have a check with queen to h2 check. But white plays f takes g, and here I play queen takes g3 with a check, and white elects to play rook to g2 to block the check. But here I have the good move and the checkmate move, rook on f5 to f1 checkmate. So that just shows I managed to scrape a win in this game, but it was a mad, bad, sad game where I made mistakes. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you found it a bit entertaining, and it certainly was different. Okay, thanks and enjoy your chess.